Starting. Hello, I'm Dr. Rosie Kuhn, and this series is called Dilemmas of a Small Business Guru. And the intention of this broadcast, this series, is to introduce you to small business owners and people who are in the process of growing themselves into a small business guru. Now, my perspective is that we're all small business owners looking to become experts at what we do so that we feel fulfilled and successful and really have fun doing what we're doing. So today I'm talking with Anjl Rodee, and she's in Seattle. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Anjl. Welcome.
Thank you.
Anjl, tell us about what's the name of your business, your website, and tell us what you are doing as a small business owner, expert, guru person.
My business is brushcapadeseattle.com. I am basically a paint party business, similar to the wine and paint parties that are out there, only I don't really do the wine thing. People are free to bring it if they want to.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically I am in the entertainment/art business.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I think you told me that this summer you were working for the city of Seattle. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yeah, they paid me to sit in a park and invite people to come and paint the skyline or whatever they wanted. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I did it twice a week, all summer long, and we'll do it again next year.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
That says a lot about your capacities, your abilities, your expertise, that the city of Seattle would hire you to do this. So congratulations on that.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel like a part of the fabric of the city now.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah, it's so beautiful. The cityscape is so beautiful.
Stunning.
So many aspects of it.
Yeah.
So how did you get into this business, which is just so cool that you can make a business out of having parties, basically having parties and painting?
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I am a graphic artist/illustrator by trade. I do book illustrations and I design paper plates. You may have eaten off my work. Artsy stuff. I'm also an improv comic. I play with an improv troupe almost every weekend. So when I heard about this wine and paint thing, I thought, I am so uniquely qualified to do this.
Uh-huh.
So I looked into working for somebody else at one of the bigger companies to do this, and just couldn't find a good fit. So I thought, what the heck, I'm going to invest some money and just start it myself because I just know I'm supposed to do this.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice. Now, when you were looking at, I think this is a really good point in the sense that you'd say, I can do this potentially work for somebody else. What was it that you were looking for that you couldn't find that fit? What was that you were looking for?
Flexibility. And really I was looking for something that was, I don't know if respectful is the right word, but respectful of my talents and skills and what I brought to the table. And flexibility as far as work as much or as little as I wanted or needed to. I thought I have some really good ideas, and working for a big franchise, your ideas are just not a thing. And so I thought, well, I don't want to squelch what I think I would love about this. I don't want it under somebody else's parameters. So I'll do it myself. And it took a surprisingly small amount of time to grow it to the point where it's hard for me to squeeze graphic design into my life now, which is fine. I'm covered in paint all the time. I was furiously trying to clean the paint off my reading glasses for our session here, and I thought, why? How lucky am I that there's paint on everything that I own?
Yes. Like being in kindergarten all the time.
Yes. And getting to share that with other people. And another thing was they have set scripts that you stick with as far as, and I thought I can do so much better than that. Nothing wrong with their scripts, but it wasn't me. It wasn't my voice.
Yes.
And I really wanted my voice to be included in what I do. And,
sure.
And so So that was the basic. I don't know if it was a good combination of naivete and blissful ignorance, as well as my drive to do what I thought would be successful.
Yes.
Because everybody kept saying, "How brave, how brave." I'm like, brave. I just just feels right. I couldn't not do it.
Yes. Yes.
Kind of like when you should get a tattoo, when you can't not do it.
When should you get a tattoo? When you can't not do
When
it.
you can't
That's when
not
you
do
should.
it.
And I think that's found really literally foundational to every person that starts their own business. You know, they have an inspiration, they have an idea, they go, I can't not do this.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
because you don't know what you're stepping into, you don't know. Like you say, people say, "Oh, you're brave." It's like, no, I couldn't not do it.
Yes. Yes.
But
Exactly.
you don't know all of the elements that are going to contribute, most likely,
Yes.
to and the unfolding of this, and how successful, or how do you make it successful, all of those kinds of things. So, all these wonderful interviews I've been doing with people, it's been so great to hear people go, I just, it's like fun, and it's
Yes.
exciting, and
Yes.
I'm inspired, and I bring that to the people I work with, and
Yes. Yeah.
that's foundational to me, to being a small business guru, is you've got that level of inspiration and excitement and momentum.
I totally agree. And
Yeah.
I tell people, I feel like I'm hardly working. And they're like, are you kidding? You're at your computer until 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, oh, I guess I am. But I'm just so excited about putting new things on my website, or even if it's the paperwork for what I do, it's all exciting, and I get little giggles about all of it. Isn't that awesome?
That's
Yeah.
terrific. That's terrific. And my desire in doing this series of Small Business Guru series is really to inspire people to, like, you can have fun too, and you can make
Yes.
this happen and be successful and fulfilled at it.
Yes.
And it's not just because every corporation in the world, the most successful corporations, started out with one person with one idea, and one little either computer or piece of paper that said, this is what my vision is.
Yes.
And nothing would be in the world if we didn't have that level of vision and inspiration to make it so.
Yes.
So
I don't think I'd be talking to you on an Apple computer right now.
I know, right? So here you are, successful and fulfilled and happy and having fun, with the flexibility and the independence that is so important to you. And so where are you in the development of what's up for you? What's the dilemmas and the challenges and the questions that you're sitting with right now?
I'm to the point now where I only have so many hours, and people, I can only do one paint party at a time. But if somebody wants that same date, so as far as me doing this by myself, there's only so much I can do.
Yes.
And so I'm at the point now where I am adding other people to the mix, which is scary, but also feels grown up and awesome as well.
That's a really good, we're going to come back to that point of the feeling grown up, because that's another big element of this process.
Yes, especially for a creative.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. So as you're adding people to your company as doing what you do, or doing something else?
Doing the paint parties. So
Okay.
I'm still doing all the administrative, and I'm still coming up with the ideas and things. I have two girls who work with me now who do what I do, and it was a little scary in that I feel like part of my appeal is my comedic background, and so letting go of a little of that. Oh, but I am the star of the show.
Yes, the entertainer.
Letting somebody else represent you in that way. It was good. It was good for me to see that. Okay, I'm not the only star in the sky, and that's okay. It is okay. I have two awesome artists that work with me who charm the students as much as I can. And it's really relieving to
Good.
know that it's not all on my shoulders. I've
Yes.
got very capable shoulders with me.
Good. When we started talking about the possibility of doing an interview together, that was like 2 months ago. That was like in July.
Yeah.
And at that point, you didn't have other people. You were questioning
Right.
whether that was a good idea.
Right.
So because of, is there the level of capabilities and, like I said, charm and entertainment factors,
Right.
and
Right.
the expertise as a painter and artist.
Right.
So what was it that shifted, that went from, I don't know if I'm going to hire somebody, but I don't have enough time in my day, to actually saying yes?
To be honest, it was born out of, I don't want to say desperation, but circumstance, which is kind of why I'm a small business owner as well. I came to Seattle thinking to get a job here, and finding out the way people work in the design field here is different than I was used to. I'm like, well, okay, then I either have to get more equipment or just do this on my own. I decided to do it on my own. And in this case, I needed some downtime for some surgery, and didn't want to cancel the upcoming things that I had. So I'm like, okay, can you handle these for me? And then weirdly, fate dropped another great artist in my lap. She's someone who works with my daughter and is also dating a good friend of mine. She just weirdly just showed up, and she's awesome, and had just moved here from Reno, had a lot of experience in this field. And so I really feel like the world just kind of put her in my path and said,
Awesome.
here's, you're worried? How about her? Awesome. So these two girls just more than capably, is that a word, helped me out, and took it and ran. And so I'm more than happy now to find other things for them to do. So now I'm 3 strong.
Good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. It's an awesome feeling.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I just kind of needed that little push of circumstance for me personally. It's probably different for other people, but for me, that's what it was bravery by taking this leap first.
Yeah. When presented with certain circumstances, how do you make choices based on those because you could have chosen to cancel and reschedule. You could have done a lot of things, but this is what you did choose to do.
Right.
And again, this is part of that aspect of a small business owner, small business guru, is that you empower yourself to make the choices you make.
Yes.
And sometimes it works out in your favor, and sometimes it doesn't.
Yes. Yes.
And your willingness to be with that, it's like, it's the willingness to be with that. And that in a sense grows an individual to make even more choices.
Yes.
Not be afraid of that.
Yeah. And part of that bravery, to be honest with you, comes from my improv training, which I highly recommend for any business owner, any human on the planet that has interaction with other people, because you don't have control over what the world is going to throw at you. You can be scared and stay in your room, shut the door, and say life is comfortable here, or you can say, excuse me, yeah, okay, that just happened, and where can we take it from there? And it's been a game changer for me. So
awesome.
Yeah.
That's sports. No, I'm not going to get it right.
Comedy sports.
Comedy sports
is what I do. Yeah. It's an international franchise.
Yes. And is that with Alex?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we met. We interviewed with Alex a few weeks ago.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Nice.
So and you're the third person in a sense. Melissa also is a person who high involvement in improv and high encouragement for utilizing that as a way of training ourselves to step into an empowered perspective, as opposed to like you say, if whatever is thrown at you in the improv, on the improv stage, you have to respond, and we all respond, but it gives us an opportunity to be more conscious about that, because it's only play. It's only play.
Exactly.
So having more people, what are the dilemmas now that have shown up for you as you made that choice? Because what we find is that whenever we make a choice, it creates a new set of circumstances to be with.
Absolutely. Organization is not my strong set, not as much as being funny and painting. And you wear a lot of hats when you own a business. So now I've gotten pretty good steps for organizing myself. Now I'm organizing 2 other people as well. I need to make sure they have enough materials ahead of time, make sure that they know where they're going and what these things are. So that has been, that's my new challenge. That's basically the thing. And other things that I'm gonna need to worry about as far as paperwork and stuff is this is all still pretty new for me.
When you say new, is it, how long have you been doing this?
A couple of months now, 2 months.
Okay,
So,
but in terms of being a business owner.
I've been doing this business for almost exactly 3 years now.
Okay.
My graphic design business for 6 years.
Okay.
So, but it's all just me. It has been all just me, and whatever I don't know, we'll say paperwork, what tax wise, whatever. I hire somebody for that. So it's going to be a different ball game now with more people under my umbrella as well. And so I'll let her handle that as well. I'll let experts handle expert things, and I don't need to be an expert at everything.
Excellent. Excellent. Quite often a founder of a business will start to do things other than what they founded the business to do.
Yes.
And so what's showing up for you as the founder of this business who love going to pay parties and do all that, entertain, and what's happening to you as you're hiring more people to do the things that you used to do? Are you still, excuse me, painting?
I make sure that I still have a hat in the game because I do love it. And I think as things go on, I'm definitely going to need a dedicated marketing person, maybe management person. And so I think that will be my next hire, so that I can keep doing the creative stuff, maybe coming up with ideas for the business, from subject matter on the canvases to where we do it and how we do it and whatever. But let somebody else take care of the day-to-day scheduling and bookkeeping and all that kind of stuff, which I do enjoy. I would just feel better now that there are more layers to this. I would feel better if somebody who is dedicated to this sort of thing was helping me do that, so I can continue to do the stuff that I'm super excited and passionate about.
Excellent. And that's again a big choice for people because you're really good at what you're really good at. It's like what's yours to do, as we say. It's what's yours to do. Right. And if you're stuck behind a computer doing what's not yours, it's somebody else's, some other experts to do. Right. Then nobody's having fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And that is really important to me, and always has been, to really love what you do, because it's most of how you spend your time other than sleeping. So to love what you do makes it feel like you're not working, really. And just brings joy and happiness to everything else that you do, your relationships and going to the store and everything.
Yeah. And you inspire people to do the same.
Yes.
Like, why not have fun? Why not enjoy what you're doing?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And letting go of expectations of yourself, also really important. Being okay with being human, super important. It's just, I think that's something that can really load up your brain, and letting go of that and realizing nobody else cares either.
Yes.
Huge.
Yeah.
Really opened up a lot of brain space for me to just go ahead and live and go ahead and be creative and go ahead and do things, and instead of worrying about either how you're perceived or how perfect you are, or how well you're doing something.
Yes.
How well you're doing something isn't near as important as enjoying what you're doing.
Yes. Yes. There's a question that keeps bubbling up, and oh, here's the question. What's your relationship as a business owner here? What's your relationship with money in this whole scheme of having fun and generating new business opportunities, generating new employees? What's the money factor for you?
I have a very interesting relationship with money. I grew up with a single mom who was scared of money and ignored money and didn't respect it.
Okay.
And so I spent a lot of my young adulthood not valuing it or myself in respect to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something I'm consciously learning about now. And not only valuing money, but valuing my worth as far as monetarily.
Yes.
I find most of my youth, I offered myself at discount rates, whether working by the hour for someone or offering up an illustration for something. I don't know why. At this point, I don't know why. I feel like I know my worth and my value now, and I have absolutely no trouble asking for it,
Mm-hmm.
and people have no trouble agreeing with me. Yes, that is worth your worth. I'll give you that.
Yes.
Did that answer the question?
Yeah.
I'm still not super well versed in money management stuff. I hire people for that.
Excellent.
I
Excellent.
should learn it. I will. But for
Okay.
now, I'm doing a good job of letting somebody responsibly handle it for me.
Yes, and I think that again is an empowering
Yes.
choice.
Yes.
And it may never be yours to do. I think
Yes.
that the most challenging element of being a business person in relation to money is finding that relationship that works.
Yes.
And most people start out with a relationship with money that doesn't work. In the sense, and it's not about the money. It's never about the money. It's about our sense of self-worth,
Yes.
our sense of what we offer, and where we diminish our value, where we, create too much of I'm worth,
Yes.
$6,000 or whatever for an hour. It's like getting all of that handled, I think, brings us into a much better aligned relationship with this thing that we call money, this currency that comes in and out. And that's, to me, that the biggest element of how you be in your business, so that you thanks for answering that question so clearly. It's like, here's my history, here's the culture in which I was raised with money, in relation to money, and here's what I've developed over the years, so that I'm asking for what I want and what I deserve, or what I feel is valuable, and I'm getting it. And that's awesome. That's really awesome.
Yeah.
It could be a really scary aspect that many people will avoid. It's like the money will come. It's just money. The money will come if I just do this. It's like, yes. And how do you have a relationship with this currency stuff? That, what is your relationship with this? Oh, well, I just avoid it or ignore it or don't want to deal with it.
Yes.
So being able to see how your mom did that, and then how you developed, that's really cool.
Yes. Yes. Having the relationship she did with it, I didn't really have a good role model growing up, as far as, 10% goes here and 20% of your income goes there.
Yeah.
My mom also used to joke with me, being a creative, I can sing and dance and tell jokes and draw and paint. She said, you don't have a left lobe, Angel. You've got an over-engorged right lobe. You probably qualify for handicap parking. So I'm looking into it.
Yay.
But I do have a left lobe, and
Sure.
it probably is underdeveloped. She's probably right there. So I'm working on that, and I owning my own business is really helping me appreciate the fact that I can do this, and
Yes.
it is a mental thing, I think.
It's both.
Yeah.
I think, and the here's an indication that you can you have a left lobe is when you do you put your underwear on first of all, and do you put them on in the right direction?
Most days.
Most days. Because people with no left lobe cannot put their underwear on. They would not know even what it is. So you're ahead of the game. You could tell your mom, Dr. Rosie said you are.
Check my underwear, Mom.
That's right. And I think that's it's a good it's like my one of the people I interviewed was my sister Annie Kuhn, who's is a creative. And it's that place that you mentioned earlier about when do you go from, okay, I'm a child who is pretending to be an adult to, okay, I'm an adult who can continue to have fun and playfulness.
Yes.
As even as a grown-up doing grown-up things.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So that's another element of when is that place of play and creativity, which for those of us who play for creative for play, when does that become something that you choose to do as a living versus just for play?
Yes.
Any thoughts about that?
Nope.
All right, I'll check that off the list.
I think you said it well. I feel so fortunate that I play for a living. I know it's funny that we tell ourselves, oh, the person working in a cubby in an office is being a grown-up. I'm painting and telling jokes, not a grown-up. It's interesting that we instead that we tell ourselves that that's what that is.
Yes.
That's the because not that I ever look at someone in a cubby and think, wow, I wish I was working in a cubby. But I do, I have said to myself, I wish I was more sophisticated. I wish I was that urban person, and I know that they come here to paint, those cubby people, and I call them cubby people, that,
yes.
and they say, wow, I wish this was my life. And wouldn't it be awesome if we were all super balanced in that?
Yeah.
I think that is the thing to strive for.
Yeah. Yeah. And our interpretations of what that person in the cubby is as a grown-up doing grown-up things.
Yes.
That our interpretations of who we are as, I'm not grown up, or I'm not acting grown up, or whatever that is. Those interpretations are only in alignment with what our consensus reality has taught us, if you will.
Yes.
And that's another element of the dilemmas of being a business guru, small business guru, is being able to, like you say, align and balance ourselves with who are we as this individual who's learning to be ourselves in the world through our expression, through our extension in the world. And I think that's what our work is our connection and our offerings to the world.
Yes.
However that is. And the more that we can find joy and love in that, then the more it gets extended into the world, I believe.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
One other question I have for you is, I guess I'll just say it as a question, as a statement first, is when we think about business, if somebody goes to get their MBA, they're looking at strategics, business models, all that kind of stuff. Okay.
Right.
What shows up when I say that?
Exactly what I thought being a business owner was and necessitated, because I'd flirted with the idea when I was younger, and I'd go to small business classes and get mirrored in the needing a small business loan and having a business plan and having a marketing thing, but it's been a little organic build.
Yes.
Which is awesome.
Yes.
And it's kind of like, I have a friend who just had a baby, And he was like, I am going to fail. This baby is going to die because I don't know what to do with babies. And I said,
Yes.
no, when the baby comes, you're going to be newborn expert. And then when the baby is a toddler, you're going to be toddler expert. And when by the time it's a teenager, you're going to be teenager expert, and you're going to feel like I wouldn't know what to do with a newborn right now, because you just do. You just get up and do what you need to do before you go to bed that night. And owning a business has been a lot like having a baby to me. At first, it was just, I'm going to make a website and say, hey, I'm teaching class on this day. Who wants to come?
Yes.
And that's where it started. And as I've needed new things have grown and been added on. And there's not been one part of this that I thought, I could never do that. Even now, if I'm thinking about having a designated space studio right now. I hold classes here. I hold them in another venue. I do a lot of corporate things in their offices. But I'm thinking about having a designated building, and then I would need that business loan. And the idea of it just isn't scary to me anymore, like it was when I was basically cubby person thinking about the big work, small business owning is, you know, you need all this stuff. No, you really don't. The organic grow is probably the way it should be done, so that you know every aspect of what you've got going. You're an expert at all of it. If you grow with it, if it grows with you.
Yeah. It's kind of like when you get your first Apple computer or whatever computer you have, or you have a software, and you go take classes and how to do all of it, and Adobe is a good photo. It's like, okay, I'm going to learn how to do this, and it's like you learn it, but it's like none of it sticks until you go, okay, I got to put this framing around this image.
Exactly.
And it's only through the direct experience of doing it right then and there that you cultivate the abilities and the capacities to grow it to the next level. Okay, I think I'll put a pink frame around this red one because now I can do that. So the other element of this is that in that way, then as growing your business organically, and yes, you've had, we have so much Google and other resources to say, is this the right way or is this the right time? We have all those resources to help us discern and look at what's the right time for this. But my sense is that as a small business guru, is like it's the model that you're using is the model that you've developed for you.
Yes. It's so much so that I didn't even attend one of these wine and paint parties till 6 months after I started my business. And so glad that I did it that way, because I already had my little thing going. And then I went and I thought, well, I do that right. And we do the same thing. And it was just affirming to me then at that point, rather than trying to do it the way somebody else did it.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. When I rarely read other people's books, and I rarely read how to write a book, and I rarely read or look at how other people are coaching, because that confuses me and gets me a little bit off track, because I can go, well, I should be doing it differently.
Yes, absolutely.
And even in terms of marketing myself, there are so many organizations that want to market me and everybody else, and I go, no, because I gotta stay true to the internal marketing compass, the internal process of what works for me.
And that is so true for me too. I find that the more I research something, the more overwhelmed, and the more I put it on a back burner. Whereas if I just do something, then I just do it.
Yes.
And it's kind of like changing a ceiling fan. It feels like it's a toilet. It feels like it's this daunting permanent thing. It's not that hard. It's a couple twists of the pipe and it's on. You're like, dang, I did that.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And so as a business coach and as a life coach, my focus is on saying, well, what is that interpretation that you have that says that changing a toilet is like daunting? Like, what is that makes it so hard or overwhelming? And asking those kinds of questions, then you go, really, it's just reading the directions, if nothing else, and or writing the directions. When I was training people to be life coaches and business coaches, I didn't have any training manual written. It just was doing it until somebody said, I don't get what we're actually getting here. And so that's when I actually said, I guess I better write a manual that says, here's what you're doing. So it's like it comes when it's time to come.
Yes.
And that's through this organic place.
Yes. Yes.
Is there anything you would do differently at this point? I mean, you're 3 years into this company.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you would do differently in terms of starting or growing your business?
Just almost exactly what we talked about as far as somebody wanting to market you. When I first started, I invested kind of heavily into one of those things that promised results that just didn't happen. And they were like, just give us 2 more months. I'm like, I can't even afford to give you 2 more months.
Yes.
And it all went fine. I would trust I would trust myself more.
Excellent.
I trust myself more.
Excellent.
Now I just entirely trust myself. Like you said, you know what's best for, and I know what's best for mine.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I think I would have benefited from having someone like you early on to have said to me, trust your voice. Trust your voice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And because it's like I think the biggest challenge for any of us as human beings, but then whether we're parents or partners in friendship or marriage or in our work life, it's the degree to which I can trust that I can trust myself.
Yes. Yeah.
And most of us don't trust us enough to trust that we can make it happen, that we can change that toilet out or whatever it is.
Right.
Will I fall apart? Will it fall apart? Will the world fall apart? Is like, can I trust myself enough to find out?
Right. Right. To give you way too much info, I moved to Seattle in a relationship, with a relationship. He moved here for his work. 5 weeks after moving here, found out he had someone else somewhere else. And so I was left jobless and homeless and loveless, and it was quite traumatic.
That.
But I didn't die, which is what you kind of fear when you let people in or when you make big major changes, that you will die.
That's right. Yeah.
And I'm so grateful that all happened, because I am that knowledge that A, I didn't die, B, not only is it not about me, but very little is about me.
Yes.
That just takes a lot of pressure off your head.
Yes.
And so my self-worth really was born out of nothing, if that makes sense. And I really feel that my sense of self-worth is directly tied to what I've been able to do. My self-worth doesn't come from what I've done. Self-worth came first.
That's right.
And stuff just shows up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's awesome. That's really awesome, because we think that, okay, if I write this book, and I've written 10 books, so the first 5 or 8 or 9, it's like my self-worth was supposedly going to come from those books.
Yes.
I was going to write them and make $1 million, and that was all about it.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, they don't sell the way that I expected. So it wasn't in the product, it was in the creation of that my self-worth came about.
Yes.
And that's, I think what you're saying is because I empowered, I said, I want this. Yes. I want to do this.
Yes. And I can do this.
And I can do that. And I trust that I'm willing today in this moment to sit at the computer and write, even though I'm saying, who am I? Who am I? Who am I to write a book? Like, or who am I to be a owner of a business or whatever that is? Right. It's like, who am I? It's like you find out who you are.
Yes.
And it will either align you with your lack of your decision that you have no worth, or you begin to cultivate a level of self-worth that has you go, I am worthy of having somebody else take care of my financial and organizational stuff. I am worthy of having more support that comes in and who are great people who, it's right on about that. And it's so challenging. Yeah. And that's why I do believe that having, a business coach or life/business coach really is supporting people to work through those issues, because it's
Yes.
not what you do, it's how you choose to do what you do.
Absolutely.
It's what we're up to here.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm so happy to talk to you, and I'm looking forward to having you come up to Orcas Island and
I'd love that.
doing a paint party. We'll have a lot of fun.
We will.
We will. So tell us again, Anjl, your website and an email address or something so people can find you, or they can just Google you, or what's the best way of...
Yeah, Googling me works. It's Brush Capades, brush as in brush, capades as in the end of escapades. I thought it was a brilliant word when I made it up.
I love it.
brushcapadesseattle.com. And my email address, angel@brushcapadesseattle.com. Coincidentally, Anjl is spelled ANJL. Also thought it was genius when I made it up when I was 14.
Yes. Hey, it's genius.
Creative?
It's genius. That's right. So ANJL at brushcapadesseattle.com.
Perfect.
Great. So if you want Anjl to come and do an event with you, painting and partying, you're available.
Yeah, I'm there, available.
Yeah.
I'm losing my words.
That's okay. That's okay. All right. Thank you so much for this. This has just been really a lot of fun, and
For me too.
I'll look forward to connecting to you soon.
Awesome. That sounds
Okay.
great. Thank you, Rosie.
You're welcome. And don't go anywhere. Just stay there.
Yeah.
Okay. So those of you who've been watching and participating in this conversation, thanks for being with us. And we'll be making a podcast of this at some point, and hopefully you'll stay tuned to those as well. All right. Bye for now.